Today, your shelf-o game.
Will that lead to acclaim?
As we look through games to name.
Which one would get lost in the shuffle? That's not what we're doing.
That's okay, because I ran out of ideas too. Grant.
Yes, Chaz.
Something just occurred to me.
What?
Do you know what all board game collections have in common?
They're made of board games.
That is correct, sir.
Hey.
And where there are board games, there are shelfies or pictures of people's board game collections.
Yeah. You know, my real life hack, if you want it, is if you want to sort of keep up in the shelfie race, just go to your local game store. Just take shelfies in your pajamas in front of their games. Yeah, nobody will know.
How come you have 7 copies of Wingspan?
Yeah, because I want to know how much money I've put in this when I could have put a kid through college.
Oh, good point. Fair. Well, we put out the call on the Game Night Picks Blue Sky account, asking for viewers to send in pictures of their shelfies. And viewers, they did.
Yeah, you guys have amazing collections, and we're excited to talk about them. We're going to look at the photos of your board game collection and pick out our favorite game in your collection and the game we think is the most underrated in your collection, the hidden gem, the game that you have that not enough people have, that not enough people talk about.
Absolutely. And we got 3 collections here that we're going to go through, starting with a submission from Ted Schaller. And so we're going to dive into this awesome game closet right here.
Yeah, look at that game closet. You squeezed a lot of great games into that closet for sure. I like so many of the games that you guys have. I mean, honorable mention for me here, Wavelength is one of my favorite party games of all time. White Castle is one of the, I love a game that is thinky and has a lot of strategy, but plays in a fairly short time. And White Castle accomplishes so much strategy in like a 60 to 90 minute game. And there's just so much depth to it. But personally, if I'm picking, now I haven't played this new version, but Ted has the new Quacks on the shelf, and Quacks of Quedlinburg is still in my collection, and it's one of my favorite games of all time. I have mentioned before on Lost in the Shuffle and just in life and at conventions how much I love push your luck games. You can build your bag as much as you want, but at some point there's just let's reach in and see what happens.
Yep.
You know, and
Every game.
I love those moments in that game, and they're full of elation and disappointment, and you know, you leave a game of Quacks like remembering moments from it. And you know, to me, a great game is about creating those memorable moments, and Quacks does that really well.
Was Quacks an honorable mention? Or
No, that was my honorable mentions were Wavelength and White Castle. So Quacks is my favorite game off of this shelf.
Okay. Well, you mentioned White Castle, which is actually the game I was going to mention as the one in this photo that I have been enjoying the most recently.
It's so good.
It is.
Yeah.
All of a
I
sudden,
love the dice drafting system where you're pulling dice from
off the little
edge of
bridges.
and
Yes.
stuff.
Yeah.
It is like just a solidly medium weight game. And there is a lot of strategy, but it's not like a break your brain level.
Yeah. Now, it does have its expansion.
Sure.
It does add another round's worth of turns to the game.
Okay.
And I'm actually torn. I don't know whether I prefer it base game or expansion. And that's rare for me.
Sure.
So that's just a testament to how strong the base game of White Castle is.
Awesome. I do love that game. All right. For my hidden gem, I am going with the game Oros right here. Oros is a game I wish more people talked about because there are tiles out on the board and you are shifting tiles and making them slam together to form bigger tiles, like as if they're creating mountains out in the ocean. You're slamming a 2 and a 1 together and it makes a 3, and you're trying to make these 4s so that you can build temples on the 4s and get your guys up on the temples and can move up the temple track. But there's also an engine building aspect to it. You can't ever do everything, so you're deciding what actions you want to make stronger, what stuff you want to level up throughout the game, and it just that, you know, you get to do more and more things with your actions by the end of the game as you raise your knowledge.
That is fascinating.
I will say, it is a game that is better at 3 or 4 than it is at 2 players. If you play it at 2, you have to play a dummy player, and I don't love that.
Yeah.
I would choose not to play it at 2 players, but at 3 and 4, it's great.
Okay. I think I'm going to go with Daybreak because
Sure.
because Daybreak is a game that if left to my own devices, I never would have selected to have hit the table.
Sure.
But I went to a game night and they had it, they brought it out, and it was so brutally fun.
Yeah.
This is a game.
It's cooperative, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you need that because you got the CO2 levels rising. You got problems to take care of. You got to coordinate to do this. You got to have, lend me some of those resources. Let me do this to try and protect the planet. And it's one of those games that it doesn't care if you win me or not. I'm here for you to figure out and win.
Yeah.
And I let myself be kind of intimidated by it and overlook it. I think others might do the same.
Sure. Yeah, I've never played it.
It's a little heftier, but it's all not overwhelming. This week's episodes were made possible, in part, by the game Wondrous Creatures, not unlike this wondrous creature right here. What are you? Bad Comet brings us a strategic board game for 1 to 4 players, combining an innovative approach to worker placement with tantalizing tableau building tactics. Discover over 100 fantastical creatures. Creatures like this goofy-looking dog here, which I'm pretty sure is actually just a pile of sticks that somehow came to life. Regardless, as you place your workers across 2 hex map spaces, you'll also capture resources and activate various special effects. And as the game progresses, new powerful special effects become available, allowing you to get creative and use these abilities to unleash your own powerful combos, calling on the unique talents of your creatures to build your very own magnificent menagerie. The quirky, puzzle-like fun of Wondrous Creatures is truly a unique worker placement experience, and believe you me, I know a thing or two about unique. You can discover Wondrous Creatures by following the link in this video's description to find it in stores, online, and directly on Bad Comet's website.
All right, now we are jumping over to Captain Gertcha's collection.
Yes, this is very intriguing because there's so many games on here, I cannot decide.
Yeah. A lot of big box games here for sure.
Yeah.
A lot of beefy fellas.
Oh, so much beef.
I can see ones that I'm like, I've wanted to play Septima so much for so long, and I've never had a chance to play Septima. Okay, my favorite game in this collection, I think could also be considered the most underrated game on this list or in this collection.
A twofer?
And that is the game Starship Captains. Starship Captains is sort of like loosely Star Trek themed. There is a fun engine building aspect to it, this worker placement action selection aspect to it. And you are going to be flying your spaceship around the board, doing things, but you're also going to be getting these technologies that you're adding to your board, and that's the engine building aspect of it. One of the most interesting things about it, though, is you will get more workers as the game go on, and as you use them, you slide them into this little slot.
Okay.
But not all of them come back up later. So there is a timing aspect where you're like, I need to be conscious of what order I'm doing these actions in, because maybe later I can get a worker back, but if it's not the color that I need to do the action that I need to do at that point, so that slotting in of workers and potentially getting some workers back is really cool and interesting.
That is a neat approach.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to take a little bit of a different approach here.
Okay.
Just look at this first picture. We got War Story in the upper left corner here. We got Sniper Elite, fantastic hidden movement game. We have Ghostbusters, the board game, which I'm jealous and would love to find out more about and play.
I'm a fan of Mansions of Madness and stuff, too.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, we got Escape from New York, which, again, is in this pile just waiting to be played. Rivals. We got Star Wars Rebellion, with when I'm in the mood for a big Star Wars game is the one I always turn to. I love that one. We got so many on here. And, of course, we have one of my all-time favorite games here. We have Nemesis.
Yeah,
which
I can see you have all of it over on your shelf.
Yeah.
There. You have so many Nemesis boxes.
Yeah, so that one's kind of a gimme. I'm not going to pick that as my favorite. But okay, and then we got the whole other shelf here, which I think is just as potent and powerful. Waste Knights in the upper left corner.
Yeah.
And also Last Aurora.
Okay.
I have been wanting to play both of them for so long, but Since I learned about them at the same time, I can never remember
Which one is which? That's funny.
Which leads to making no decision at all.
Yeah. I believe, to me, Starship Captains is both my favorite game and I think the most underrated. I do think Expeditions is underrated.
Okay. Oh.
Expeditions was sort of the medium weight version of Scythe, and Scythe remains the more popular game. I think Expeditions is the better game.
Oh.
I would rather play Expeditions.
Okay. But looking at Starship Captains, there's that new guy.
Yeah.
Right there below it.
We actually just played this game last night.
Moon Colony Bloodbath.
Yeah.
Yeah. And would you recommend that as a game that's on the shelf?
Yes. I had a great play. I've only played Moon Colony Bloodbath one time. We played it last night. As long as you don't mind a game that kind of punches you in the mouth a little bit, it's really fun to try to like sort of survive as long as you can.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those games. Why are you hitting yourself? Why
Yeah,
are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself?
Yeah, for sure.
Dude, there's two more in here I got to talk about. Dark Moon is on here.
Sure.
Okay, would you like the mini light version of Battlestar Galactica?
Yeah.
Lower down on the shelf there is City of the Great Machine.
That's always one that I've been interested about. That's one I've wanted to try and never have.
You talked about Oros, how the tiles move and smash together. Well, City of the Great Machine, the tiles move around and relocate on the board as this big steampunk city reconfigures itself.
Okay.
Definitely worth trying at least once to try it out.
Awesome.
It has some really great ideas in it. That brings us next
to our last shelfie of the episode, Misog. There's a ton of games here, for sure.
Oh, man. How in the world can
I know, this is really hard to pick. I mean, there are a lot of games in this collection that have made multiple of my, like, top 10 games of the year lists, right? Like I see Fromage right there was on my top 10 of this last year. I've talked about how much I like Ra before, Planet Unknown, one of my favorite games of all time. We were wondering if we might have the same pick for our favorite game out of this collection, though. I wonder if we do.
We were talking about how, oh boy, out of all those great games, it would feel a little funny to pick like a light party game as the favorite pick.
Yeah, there are some times where I'm like, I'm a gamer.
Yeah.
Is it okay that my favorite game is like a silly, fun time?
Yeah, so is the one that you had in mind So Clover?
No, but that is a great game.
Okay, it's tucked right down there in the corner.
Yeah,
Almost.
I love So Clover.
So Clover is a great party game. It is one of those, has never failed when I introduce it to any group.
Yeah, that is a great game. No, mine was Camel Up.
Oh, really?
Yeah. At the end of the day, how much fun am I having playing a game?
Yeah.
And there are different ways to have fun. I love White Castle. I think chaining stuff together in White Castle and figuring out how to have an epic turn is fun. But I also think Camel Up is just silly fun. Right? Every time I play it, there is laughter. It's unpredictable, right? You never know what's going to happen.
You are never able to pin that thing down, even at the last turn. You still don't know.
Yeah. And it's a game I don't mind losing because I always have fun along the way.
It just, the experience of it is, absolutely.
So out of all these games, there's a bunch of great strategy games here, and Camel Up I still think is my favorite game.
And you know what? I still think that's fair. This is a collection that if I had to replace my board game collection with another one, I would be perfectly happy with this board game collection.
I feel the same.
We got El Dorado.
I do like.
Fantastic deck-building racing game.
Yep.
Love El Dorado.
I do too.
We got Witness, which...
I don't know that game.
Oh, Witness is a logic puzzle in game form.
Okay.
You have a booklet of all these logic puzzles, the old deduction. You can only talk to certain people at certain times, like 4 players. You're only going to talk to actually one of those 4 players. Only one other player is going to talk to you, and then you got to put all the pieces together to figure out what's going on. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I feel like now that you mention that, I feel like I've heard of it, but I haven't played it myself.
It's a combination between a logic puzzle and the game Telephone.
Okay. That's fun. That's cool.
But right there next to it, I think, is going to be my pick as my favorite on here.
Okay.
Is Zaya or Shaw, depending on how you all pronounce it, but Zaya, Legends of a Drift System. It is a sandbox game. So you're given the tools, how to build a ship and things you can do to earn points and how to build a solar system. And then you're like, okay, everybody go off, do whatever you want. Earn points however you want and just do stuff. Oh,
okay.
Love that game.
Do you have a pick for the underrated, the hidden gem? out of this whole collection.
Oh no, can I go with Zaya and Witness?
Yeah, that's fair. Because I've been thinking about it, of which one, again, so hard to pick just one. I think Everdell Far Shore is an underrated game. I love Everdell. I think Everdell Far Shore is a better game than Everdell. Far Shore is 90% the same as Everdell, but those 10% differences do make the game better.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so, that's one I think of as like a hidden gem here, an underrated game.
I got one. Way down here, the bottom left corner, right next to So Clover, we got Sobek 2-player.
Oh yeah, I've never played it. It's always been one I've been interested about.
Yeah, I really dig this little tile set collection game. It's
Sure.
It knows what it wants to be.
Okay.
And it does that super well.
Wow, that's great. Yeah. I'll tell you another game I would pick as a hidden gem here, Juicy Fruits, a super fun family weight game where you're moving tiles around, and as you slide them around, you get resources. But if I had to pick one underrated game, if you made me pick between all of these games of which one I think is a hidden gem.
And I am.
Yeah.
I am forcing you to do that.
So if that is fair, it is The Art Project.
Oh, okay.
I love a good cooperative game.
Right.
I want it to be somewhat of a challenge, and I also want it to force actual cooperation. The Art Project, you really do have to cooperate. You have to keep talking. You have to make a plan. Who's doing what? I love a heisty type theme, and The Art Project is that. Yeah, it's a really, really great cooperative game that I think is underrated.
Okay. Speaking of underrated thing that's deserving of an honorable mention.
Okay.
I just realized something about Massage collection here.
Okay.
Do you realize that this collection
What?
is in alphabetical order?
Is it really? Oh my God. Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Camel Up, Canvas, Captain Flip. Oh. What a way. Oh man, I can't imagine when you get a new game.
I know,
you have to shift everything.
I know, right?
That's wild.
Wow. So yeah, no,
That is very true.
mad respect.
That is a lot of respect for sure.
Yeah.
That is something I aspire to do that will absolutely never happen. My collection will never be that organized.
True that.
But boy, am I jealous. That's awesome.
So yeah, that's just one more layer of appreciation that you can add here to the Massages collection.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, thank you again for sending in your selfie.
To everyone who has sent in selfies, both in this episode and previous ones that we've done.
Yeah. This is really fun for us to do. We like talking about games. We like seeing the games you have in your collection.
Yeah. So if you would like to maybe get in on a future episode, well, down in the comments, you'll find a pinned comment over to a Blue Sky post that has information on what you can do to submit your shelfie photos. And we would love to look for hidden gems and favorites in those as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're welcome to do that. You're welcome to subscribe. You're welcome to, I'm not your dad, do whatever you want.
Yeah, but do it. Subscribe. I'm your dad.
Oh my goodness. Good cop, bad cop going on here.
Yeah.
All right, well, on that concerning note,
Watch the next videos.